there's one Apple product that whenever I see it mentioned, it's never in a good way, and I genuinely think it's the most hated one. And I have never used it, so I decided to buy an Apple Magic Mouse to see for myself and settle this, or just add fuel to the fire. And when it comes to mice type of products, I've used everything from like the MX Master mice, the vertical mice, the crappy USB gaming mice that probably gave me tendinitis, and even things like Apple's Magic Trackpad. But unboxing the Magic Mouse, the first time I have ever seen one, and there are quite a few things I immediately notice. But this is far different than any mouse I've ever used before. I did buy this open box to save money, but it does come with the Apple braided USB-C cable. But I'll get into why it's generally hated, some of the quirks and also interesting features that it does have, what it's like to actually use it, and then finally, if I hate it. So again, this is the Apple Magic Mouse, and I think it's been around for over 15 years now. I think it came out in like 2009, and despite a lot of controversy and a lot of hate online, it's still being sold, so that says something. They must be doing something right. Like, it's even highly rated on Amazon. And price-wise, it's $80 brand new for the white one. It's Apple. Of course, you gotta pay more if you want it in black. And I think if you buy an iMac, it comes with it, and it also matches the color, which I think that's a nice touch. But another device that follows that pricing structure is Apple's Magic Trackpad, which I actually love, so I'm even more interested to see how I feel about this mouse. But what actually makes this mouse different, and more importantly, why does it seem like everyone hates it? So far, the thing that immediately stood out to me is, unlike a regular mouse where there's 2 buttons to click, it is just one big one. And if I flip this off, unlike the trackpad where if you try to click down, nothing happens because it actually just simulates the click. When this is off, it actually does click down, which I think is nice. But if I wanted to like right click, even if I click on the right side, it's just doing like a normal left click. If I try like a trackpad 2-finger click, that's not working either. Secondary click, click right side. Okay, that did it. So I guess it splits it into zones and can register when you're clicking on the right side. And for the past few minutes, I just couldn't quite put my finger on what just feels so off about this. And then I realized I literally couldn't quite put my finger on what feels off. There's no scroll wheel, but just in the settings here, I can scroll up and down just by putting my finger where the scroll wheel would be. So it worked naturally. It just feels weird. Now, something that's cool about the trackpad is you can scroll horizontally by moving your fingers around on it. If I try that here, oh wait. Oh, looks like I can get gestures. That's actually nice. I can swipe between all my different full screen apps with 2 fingers left and right, but can I? Okay, so if I go 1 finger, I can horizontally scroll. And the setting here, Smart Zoom, if I turn that on, double tap with 1 finger, and I can zoom in now. Can I pinch to zoom? Doesn't look like it. I like the pinch to zoom because it's like more controlled. And horizontal scrolling is why I like the mice like the MX Masters, because they have this wheel where you can scroll back and forth. And for things like video editing, I could not live with a mouse without that because I use it so much. And those are all features that really makes this mouse different, or at least like the way it goes about doing it. Like, it's almost a trackpad on top of a slim mouse structure. It's hard to explain without actually using it yourself. For productivity tasks, I could see this mouse being pretty good, but for something like gaming, it's impossible, because if you're playing like some FPS game, it's 1 button, so you can't right click and left click, so that would make it hard for yourself. Now, I will be, actually trying it out, doing some work with it in a bit, but hopefully I don't have to charge it, because that brings us to the #1 most popular thing about this mouse, and apparently why it gets a lot of hate online. The charger port is on the bottom. So to give you a visual here, if you plug it in and you're like, oh, you can't use it while it's charging. Like, my non-techie friends, the only thing they know about this mouse is that the charger port is on the bottom, and that's a bad thing. Like, I get they wanted to keep like the very sleek Apple design. I mean, the whole top part is literally 1 big button, but I feel like they could have easily snuck a USB-C port on the side here. But to be fair, if this thing is anything like the Magic Trackpad, which I've used daily, I charge it once a month, so the battery life is really good. If that is the case and you still find yourself needing to charge it while you're working, you're either one, working 24/7, and I respect that, or two, you have poor time management skills. I'm kind of kidding, but the second thing, and I think the far more important thing that I'm kind of iffy about already, are the ergonomics. Like, I get it, it's like a slim mouse, which some people like, but it's just so awkward. I can't, it's like flat, and it's just, there's no way to really support my hand on it. But again, I can't knock it until I fully try it, so I mean, I will be doing that in a second. But like, without ever experiencing it, is it a bad design? Especially with the charger port? Yeah, I do think so. But is it also blown out of proportion? Yes. Like I said, even if you have to charge it every day, which I assume isn't the case, you could just plug it in overnight. But I also think there are some other mice out there that are better ergonomically. They have a lot of features, and you can actually use it while it's plugged in, like the MX Master 4, which I'll kind of be hitting on later. But like I said, the Magic Mouse is different. I'm gonna be editing some of my upcoming videos with it, and then I'll report back with the pros, the cons, if the hate is even justified. You know, maybe this is game changing and I just need to accept it into my heart. Okay, so I've just been chopping up one of my next videos here in Final Cut Pro, of course, using the Magic Mouse. There are definitely a lot of quirks. I mean, on something like the trackpad, you use 2 fingers to navigate horizontally, left and right. But on the Magic Mouse, you use 1 finger. If you use 2 fingers, that's when you end up switching windows, which is not ideal. It's just different. Like, the horizontal scrolling definitely works, and I could get used to it. It's just that I'm not used to it, and I don't really see why you would change it from something like the trackpad. And of course, something else that is quite different is no scroll wheel. I have found that the way it is works perfectly fine. It just feels weird because you expect something physical to be there, but like, I don't know, like whatever sensors they have in there seems to work really well, at least for me. But then that goes into another nitpick, because on something like my MX Master, if I hold down Shift and scroll with the vertical scroll, that's another way to move horizontally. And if I do that on the Magic Mouse, hold down Shift and vertically scroll, you're going nowhere. The only way to move horizontally is the 1 finger left and right. So again, is that a deal breaker? Not for me. They added another way to scroll horizontally, so I guess it's fine. But why? Why? Just why? And just something else I just wish this had is, again, I'm gonna reference the trackpad. It's another Apple device. You can just tap on it to click. You don't have to actually click down. And since the top of the Magic Mouse is kind of trackpad-ish and can work for gestures, I don't understand why that's not an option. And then just ergonomically, there's just not much there. I mean, weight-wise, it feels a little bit lighter than the MX Master, definitely more slim. But because of how slim it is, that means there is absolutely no support on my hand, and it just does not feel sturdy. So obviously this is a very short-term review, but for one, whether I prefer it or not, this mouse offers certain features, and just the way it works is far different than any other mouse I've ever used. The ones that I like the most are the double tapping to zoom in and out. And of course, as a Mac user that's used to always using the gestures, having that available on the mouse is very welcome. But I would still just prefer having physical buttons as far as the scroll wheel, the horizontal scroll, especially things like the back and forward, and even just having the right and left click being separated. Like, the Magic Mouse is just different. Like, I don't think it's fair to hate it for that, but I do think it's fair to pass up on it for that. Like, out of all the mice I've used, this is by far the slimmest, so there's pros and cons to that in itself. Like, it's gonna be far more portable. Trying to fit a full-sized ergonomic mouse in a backpack or a laptop sleeve gets a little awkward. But for me personally, the biggest con of this mouse are just the ergonomics. And it might sound crazy, but I actually think the trackpad is better ergonomic-wise than the Magic Mouse. And I think even though the position my hands are in when I'm using both of these are very similar, the trackpad is completely still, so I'm moving my fingers along it, while the mouse, I have to actually move. And even though it's not that heavy, since there's no contact with the palm of my hand and I'm really only using my fingertips to move it, it definitely strains my wrist much faster. Like, I can already feel it after like the 40 minutes I've been using it. Now, there's 2 other cons I'm gonna mention here. One is the popular, obvious one that I'll get to, but the other one is, even though this can work on Windows, obviously it's gonna work better on a MacBook. I think every other mouse I've ever used in my entire life is easily interchangeable between Windows and Mac OS, including something like the MX Master. This is their newer one, and I have been using it a lot lately, and I think as far as mice, this is pretty much perfect. Ergonomically for me, it fits great, and it actually has a button that you can click down and swipe to get macOS gestures even better. Of course, it has the physical front, back, horizontal, regular scroll button, and it even has a thumb button that now brings up a customizable menu that you can add a ton of different shortcuts to. Like, it's definitely hard to beat, but it is priced at $120 versus the $80 the Magic Mouse is. So in reality, the Magic Mouse isn't overpriced if you plan on taking advantage of its kind of unique features. But like, if all you need is left click, right click, scroll wheel, then it's probably not the mouse for you. And finally, I did not forget about the location of the charge port. It is not ideal. Does it suck? Yes. But will it make a difference day to day? I highly doubt it. Like, obviously, it would be better to not have it on the bottom. I don't really get that decision, but I think that is by far one of the most overhyped and over-embellished issues that I have seen in a long time. Like, since using this, it is still at 100% battery. I'm sure it charges very fast, and it's not like a phone where you need to charge it every day. Like, for a mouse, the time spent actually using it is far, far more than the time it needs to be plugged in. So that's why I think something like ergonomics is a far more important issue with this. And to be completely honest, at this point, Apple probably won't change it because it gets people talking about it. And then there's people like me who buy it and make videos. So do I personally hate it? No. But will I be using it? No. I do think that it is a good product to offer. It's just not for someone like me. But thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe for more tech content.